air travel lovers. This is Ken, currently in Las Vegas, currently in Chicago, and a warm welcome back to Marco Polo Club Flyer. Today we'll be relishing the air travel experience with United Airlines on the Boeing 777-200 in both domestic first class and economy between Chicago and Las Vegas. And let's go check it.
You can help increase the effectiveness.
In January 2023, I traveled from Chicago to Las Vegas in economy class, and after spending 3 nights in this glitzy and surreal city, I pampered myself by flying back to Chicago in United's domestic first class. And in this video, I'd like to share with you some of the major differences between these two travel classes. United brands its priority benefits for premium cabin passengers as Premier Access. With United's Gold Premier status, regardless of the cabin of travel, I have access to the Premier check-in desk. To me, I do prefer to be checked in by a human ground staff, and so I am somewhat dismayed by the fact that United seems to be utilizing a lot more self-check-in kiosks than American or Delta. Check-in on both flights was super efficient, as I didn't have any bags to check in. Something interesting I discovered in the Las Vegas airport were its airside gambling kiosks. Passengers are invited to gamble until the last possible seconds before finally needing to board their planes. One thing I do dislike when flying on US carriers is that passengers traveling on domestic flights, regardless of their frequent flyer status or travel class, do not have lounge access. No doubt this is to control guest traffic, but it's still very disappointing as relaxing in a lounge should be part of a premium flight experience. With no lounge to visit today, I headed directly to the boarding gate to be with my fellow passengers. United's boarding arrangement is also something I find weird. While Star Alliance Gold members and first class passengers are in Group 1 for boarding, they're not actually the first group to board. There's a pre-Group 1 boarding group for United's top-tier members, and this contingent can be very sizable on some routes. It really would make more sense, and the expectations would be better managed if they were called Group 1 and first-class passengers Group 2. Getting onto the plane, Economy Ken was given a packet of antiseptic wipes, while First Ken received a cup of water as the welcome drink.
Can I take your cabin key?
Aircraft destination will be distributed to passengers.
Welcome to the Friendly Skies, and welcome to Domestic First Class. United First on the old generation 777-200 is arranged in an outdated 242 configuration with a total of 28 seats. The odd-numbered rows are rear-facing, while the evened number ones face forward. United used to fly this product on international long-haul flights as their Polaris business class, but with the delivery of the more efficient 787s, the aged 777s are relegated to the longer domestic flights before they are inevitably retired. While these seats are dated, there's still a significant upgrade over the recliners you often find on domestic narrow-body jets. As I had made the reservation relatively late, the only window seat left was the rear-facing seat 1A. I don't normally like sitting in the first row, but I wanted a window view more, and of course, since it's rear-facing, one can perhaps think of it as the last row. As always, storage is key, but you can hardly find any meaningful storage around your seat. A sacrifice United had to make in order to squeeze 8 of them into one row. And this had left me with no other option but to put some items I needed to use in flight on the floor. Each seat features a personal television, and although it's not an up-to-date model, it's still very responsive. Your preferred entertainment can be selected from the remote control and is enjoyed with a pair of noise-cancelling headsets. However, one can readily date the seat just by these very venerable seat controls. And now, let's walk down the cabin and welcome to economy class. United's economy class cabin is arranged in a 3-4-3 layout, which can at its maximum capacity seat 336 passengers. I am not a fan. Well, I guess no one is a fan other than the airline itself of the very narrow seats in a 3-4-3 configuration. I miss the good old days when economy class cabins are configured with a more generous 3-3-3 arrangement. The seats look quite new, but they did not feature any PTVs. Instead, you use your personal devices. My United membership gives free access to the Economy Plus seats, that is the first few rows of the cabin. I was lucky enough to secure a seat in the first row, which has really decent legroom. Of course, it's even harder to find sufficient storage space in economy, with the wall-mounted magazine rack being the only place where I can store some loose items. Luckily, United is still generous enough to give economy class passengers an electric outlet.
How we doing? Let's get some lunch orders today if either of us are interested. I have a barbecue brioche burger or butternut squash ravioli.
I'll go for the burger.
Before the flight, I had read online reviews saying how bad the meals on board United can be. And now, let's just get our taste buds ready as we prepare to surprise them. United does not provide a menu on domestic flights, not even in first class. Today there were two choices of entrees, a beef burger and a vegetarian rigatoni. I requested the burger before takeoff.
You're welcome. I'll be bringing around a bread basket in just a moment, Shai.
For United's frequent flyers, you probably won't feel surprised. But as a first-timer in United First, I just felt, what the F when I received the meal. Had something heavy set on top of the burger for several hours. While the meal tasted okay, the presentation was just... never mind.
Can I get you anything else?
I have a cup of hot tea.
Sure, any milk or sugar?
No, just tea.
And how about in economy? United does not serve meals on domestic economy flights, even if the flight is 5 hours long. I was offered a choice between pretzels and a Lotus Biscoff for a snack, which was served alongside a beverage. Still feeling hungry? You have the option to purchase food from the in-flight menu. The pastry I got tasted mediocre. It certainly was not very fresh and was extremely salty. Without in-flight meals or entertainment, flying in economy can really be boring, and I decided to kill some time in the bathroom. First Can then decided to do some work about halfway between LAS and ORD. The seat can be reclined into a fully flat bed by pressing and holding a button. While United does not provide pillows, mattresses, or duvets for short-haul flights, the seat was comfortable enough for a quick shut-eye. And finally, I would like to speak just a little on the in-flight service on both flights. After a few continental US flights, I am getting accustomed to the US hospitality. Service on the economy class flight was fine, but the crew was still less engaging than what I had expected. Most of the time, they just stayed inside the galley, making it hard for a shy passenger like myself to make any requests. While on the first class flight, the crew who took care of my aisle was very friendly, and he even started conversations with me after knowing that I was a keen fan of flying. He also walked around the cabin from time to time to make sure everybody's needs were met. As we approached our respective destinations, maybe some final thoughts on domestic travel. Personally speaking, for flights that are around 3 hours or less, economy class should be more than sufficient as you won't get a meal even if you are in first. But if you are flying on a longer flight where better service, comfortable seating, complimentary meals, and free checked bags start becoming valued parts of the journey, then first class may be worthwhile looking into. especially if you manage to get a flight that is flown by a wide-body jet with lie-flat seats.
On behalf of your entire Chicago-based based flight crew, it's been a pleasure having you with us today. We hope you enjoy your flight. We look forward to seeing you again soon on another United flight.
Thank you for relishing the air travel experience with me today. May I invite you to join me in savoring our next journey.